Melissa Banks.
Welcome to Dream by Design with Melissa Banks. I'm excited you could be with us today. I'm your host, Melissa Banks. Today, we continue our special series, Women Who Shine. These amazing women will share with us how they're able to keep shining despite the circumstance. I'm joined today by a special co-host, Deborah Hunter. Deborah is an energetic, charismatic Mississippi native. She's a former television and radio host, a celebrated and highly sought-after chef, artist, motivational speaker, and author. Welcome, Deborah, to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, Melissa. Thank you so much for having me. How are you today?
I'm absolutely wonderful, and I'm so excited. Let's just dive in. First of all, I want to congratulate you on everything that is going on with you. We already knew you were an amazing cook, but now we know that you're also an awesome author. Congratulations on your 2 children's books that were recently released and doing absolutely amazing. So tell us, how does it feel?
Oh, my goodness. I am just over the moon excited about all of the things that God is revealing to me in my older age. And becoming a children's author really is just been the sweetest gift. I have 4 very beautiful grandchildren, Melissa. I have Dakota, Dallas, DJ, and Jamari. And so these books were inspired as a gift to my grandchildren, as a way of me sharing little life lessons with them in love. And so we went from there to sharing it with the world on Amazon, and I'm just really excited about what's happening.
Well, we're excited for you, and we're also excited about this Women Who Shine series. Deborah, oftentimes women, we feed off each other, we admire each other, we get encouraged and inspired from other women, but we rarely let them know what they're doing for us. Why was it important to you to let these women know the impact on your life that they had?
Well, Melissa, it's like I've shared with you before. I absolutely love people, and I particularly have a heart and a love for women, and especially women who daily get up and share with the world their love, their time, their kindness, and make an effort to make the world better. And so I'm surrounded, fortunately, around a lot of these incredible women, including yourself. And I just wanted to say out loud how much I appreciate you and appreciate what you do in the world. It really should be first nature for us as women to be able to do that for each other.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I feel so honored to be included with these women. But we wanted to also highlight these women. We were so inspired by your post and the amazing women that you chose. We wanted to highlight them in another way and take it a little further, and that's how Women Who Shine series was born. We felt like the world should get to know these women that we knew already. So I'm going to turn it over to you so that you can introduce our next Woman Who Shines.
Thank you so much, Melissa. Today, our very special guest is Glenda Hunter, and I absolutely love the fact that her last name is Hunter. Hi, Glenda. How are you doing today?
Hi, Deborah. We got something in common right away, don't we?
Absolutely. So I actually met you, Glenda, through a very dear friend who I call the connector of people. His name is Cyrus Webb, and I think that was in 2018 at an event in Pearl, Mississippi. And
I believe that's right.
And since that time, I have been able to see you daily on social media. I love social media, by the way. But to see you give so much of yourself in kindness. And so I just had a few questions for you today. And
Okay.
one of those questions is, as a believer and as a woman, what is the one lesson that you want to share with other women as they move forward in trying to make the world a better place?
No matter how hard you had it as a kid, no matter how hard life seems to be at the moment even, that God can take you through it and beyond it.
Wow. Wow, that's a wonderful message. No matter how hard it gets, and especially what you said was as a child, and what I believe, Glenda, is 99% of the problems that we have as adults are childhood problems never resolved. And with that being said, you have written books to encourage us. Can you talk to us a little bit about those books?
Yes. I have written books about my story. They are stories about the abuse I encountered as a child. They were written to help people that share the same experience to be encouraged to know that they can get better, they can move on, they can be something. They can be whoever God wants them to be if they stay focused on that.
So how do you, as an adult person, daily muster the ability to give so much love in spite of the things that you've gone through as a child, Glenda?
Well, some days I have to do a ton of praying because some days are just honestly a little bit harder than other days. But I remember as a child thinking, I just want people to quit hurting me. I don't want people to hurt. And I think that has driven me to be able to reach out in a kind way to other people. Yes, sometimes I do offend people, and sometimes I do hurt them. Not intentionally, but it happens. And I think that with my goal with my life has been to be a light that shines. And if someone needs help getting up because they fell down for whatever reason, that I should be there to help them up, help them dust off, and to say to them, hey, I will help you along this way for a while, as long as you need me.
Wow. In the process of you sharing just now, what you said was there are times when I don't get it right. And I appreciate you being able to say that out loud. So how do you think what you've gone through, Glenda, quickly bring you back to a place of resolving conflict in those moments that you don't get it right?
Well, I guess I look at what things were like, and then I see where I am today, and I just have to. Actually, I was doing this before I came on to talk to you, just kind of just shaking myself and saying, hey, yeah, you've messed up here, or you haven't done what you should here, but that doesn't mean it's over. You I have to just kind of shake myself and just start putting one foot in front of the other again and keep on going.
You know, Glenda, I think one of the things that I learned as a woman sometimes, and I think a lot of women do this, is we tend to look at ourselves with a very critical lens, and that's why it makes it so easy for us to be comfortable in seeing other people through that way. But one of the things that God has helped me with is learning to just be easy with my own soul, you know, not to be so hard on myself, and being able to really digest, take in daily God's grace. I think that helps to build me up, and then it makes it a little bit easier to come back to somebody else and say, let me help you make life easier. So how do you find that the grace of God allow you to minister to and love on other people in a more authentic way?
You know, I think sometimes we don't think anybody else is hurting like us, and so I'm much harder on myself than I would ever be on anybody else. That's just kind of how it is. But I think that when you reach out to other people and you do it because you love God and you know He loves them in spite of whatever it is they're going through as well. And when we keep walking in the light that He has for us and keep reaching out, then, it not only helps us, but it helps them. In our weakness even, God uses that to help other people.
I absolutely love that. Even in our weakness, God will use us to help other people. With that being said, we're going to turn it back over to Melissa Banks. Glenda, I've enjoyed talking to you. Many blessings to you, my dear friend.
And you as well, Deborah. Thank you.
Wow, Glenda and Deborah, that was such a great conversation. You know, Glenda, thank you again for being here today. You are such an inspiration, and your spirit is so calming that you and Deborah together was just calming to listen to, and you said some really powerful moments in that conversation. You talked about what to do when you don't get it right, which is so important to us as women, because oftentimes we beat ourselves up when we don't get it right. Instead, and you said, you know what, it's okay, you didn't get that right, but you keep moving, and I appreciate that. I wanted you to talk to us a little bit about your journey, Glenda, and how it made you comfortable to be able to step out and put the books out that you did, and the information, share the information about your personal life. How has it been for you on this journey, and did it make you more comfortable with who you are?
You know, I was never real comfortable with who I was because I always felt like I was so damaged that if anybody really got to know me, they would not like me for sure. And I was in therapy for the abuse and stuff, which taught me to see how valuable I am as a person. When we see our value as a person, then, you know, it's easier to reach out to other people. And the books are a step of that, are a part of that reaching out to other people to say, hey, you're not alone. Life is hard, and I did my books in light of the fact that other people suffer the same thing as I did. And I put them out there knowing it could cause a lot of trouble with my family or some of them that don't understand, but yet I felt God saying, trust me.
That is so powerful, okay. You know, and as I was looking at your page and all the amazing things that you have done, when did you know, though, that you wanted to empower people through the written word by sharing your story so publicly and in the books that you have? Did you always want to be a writer, or when did you know that was what you wanted to do?
You know, I have always kind of written kind of just on the side, but I think I didn't know that until a number of years ago when I was in therapy, and I would write for my therapist. She'd say, you know, when she realized I could write and express myself, then it was kind of like a always writing business. But I don't know. It was never anything I aspired to be a writer, but it is a good release to be able to put words down to express what's going on with myself. You know, it's and putting my books out there have been something that I did with much prayer. I did not do it lightheartedly for sure, and I just wanted people to know, not necessarily my story, but to know that there is hope for them. The details of what happened to me is not important, and I tell people this a lot. Those details are not important. What's important is that you don't have to stay stuck in that prison of fear and that happens when you have been abused. And you don't have to worry and look over your shoulder every single day. That's what I want them to glean from my books.
Oh, and that is so powerful, Glenda. That is very powerful that you just said that you don't have to walk on eggshells. You don't have to walk looking over your shoulder because of something that happened to you. And that brings me back to something Deborah said in your conversation when she said to be easy with my own soul. See, that was so common to me when she said that, because oftentimes we are not comfortable with our own story, right? And we're continuing to relive that story. And I think that's what you were saying right there, is you don't have to do that. You can move through it. And that's so empowering. Okay, so Glenda, what advice would you give to someone that's listening to this conversation, the conversation you just had with Deborah, and they're in a similar situation, and they're trying to find their way through it? What would you say to them?
Well, I would, first of all, I would suggest you try to find a good therapist. Make it a matter of prayer. Don't just, not everybody is fit for everybody else. I mean, there's matches for people. But to find a good therapist, but to write and to really, really put God in your life and have Him help you to walk through this. Even though I had therapy, I had God walking me through it. And that when they think nobody understands and there's nobody there, remember, when Jesus walked this earth, He understood. He understands what you're going through. He was abused before He was crucified. I mean, all these things that tells us about Jesus, He gets it. And so, with that in mind and the fact that He gets it, allow Him to help you to start your journey of healing from these damaged emotions.
Oh, wow. That was so good, Glenda. So, Glenda, one final question for you is, where do you go when your books encourages us, it pushes us to get past what we went through, but what do you do when you need encouragement and inspiration to just keep going? Where do you go to get that?
Well, a lot of time I go to my husband. I have a wonderful husband, and he has been really great through this journey with me, and my encouragement has been through writing as well. Even though I write and I share with other people, which I try to share with them, my writing is not just for everybody else. It's for me too, because it's not always easy staying positive for me. And I know I probably shouldn't have verbalized that quite out loud, but anyway, I did. Sometimes it's not real easy, but my husband has been a great encouragement for me, and and I think God is the main reason I can keep on the journey.
Well, you know what, Glenda, I bet you Deborah would agree with me that we all have those moments. That's why we need somewhere to go to get encouragement. That's why women like yourself jumped out at Deborah and said, these women uplift me and inspire me. And so we all have those moments. So it's perfectly great that you shared that so that we don't have to walk around and act like we're so positive and so powerful that those moments don't speak in. What happens to us is when they do, we have places to go. Wouldn't you agree, Deborah?
Absolutely. I was so excited, Glenda, when you shared that, because transparency is what we need. It is how we win souls. It is how we change each other's lives and impact each other to be better when you know you've got somewhere you can come and you know what you're getting there is real. So I appreciate you more today than I did yesterday for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And Glenda, just let me say again how thankful I am to have you here today and to share your story and for us to learn more about you. I am so excited about the Women Who Shine and so grateful for this series. So thank you again for being here today. Also want to say thank you to our co-host, Deborah Hunter. It's because of Deborah that this Women Who Shine series is even happening, so I appreciate her so much.
I appreciate you, girl. Thank you so much.
And thank you to our audience for tuning in to today's edition of Dream by Design with Melissa Banks. I'm your host, Melissa Banks, saying all your dreams are possible. Believe in yourself, work hard, and don't quit. Until next time, thank you for choosing Dream by Design with Melissa Banks. Enjoy your day.